What we're watching right now is the slow motion death of the ACC, and that's one thing. But this is going to have massive ramifications for Georgia Tech, and I don't know if they'll recover. And I mean, this is not a video making fun of Georgia Tech. This is not a video making fun of the ACC. This is to really let you know that the future on North Avenue is very much in doubt as it relates to major college sports because we're seeing a shifting that has been coming for some time now. And with the Jackets just being irrelevant, we could be watching one of Georgia's in many ways biggest rival slowly die. Um, and this has been coming, like I said, for some time. So to review, we've had Texas and Oklahoma go to the SEC. Now the ACC, excuse me, now the Big Ten has captured SC and UCLA. The death knell for the ACC would be Notre Dame going to the Big Ten. I think that is going to happen at some stage in all sports. We'll see. I also think it's very possible that Miami wind up in the Big Ten. Those two could go together. That would mean that the Big Ten essentially would have its tentacles in every part of the country. That's not the Southeast. Excuse me, that's not the Southwest with Texas and all of them. And it would also mean you're bringing in two major brands in college football. The other one to watch, because we don't know what will happen, is North Carolina. I think North Carolina could go to either the Big Ten or the SEC, but it's going to be all of these programs in one conference or the other. That's where we're headed. And you can save your nostalgia for another day because everything's changing and changing for good. Whether or not it's changing for the better, we'll see. My suspicion is that this just means that the future for the Dogs will involve playing, possibly games against Clemson, North Carolina, um, Miami in theory. I think Miami is headed to the Big Ten, like I said before. I don't know if Georgia Tech will make the cut, and I'm just being straight up. I don't know that they will. And um, the people say, well, what about the Atlanta market? Well, that means you don't know what you're talking about. The Atlanta market is Georgia. Georgia Tech is like number 10 on the list. They don't matter in any way in terms of turning TVs on, in terms of anything. They just don't matter. So right now we are watching college football separate into two conferences that will divvy up the power brands of college football. This isn't the ACC is not going to survive. It's not going to happen. Okay, so those days are gone. So North Carolina, Florida State, Miami, these teams, Clemson, they will all have to decide what is the best fit for them. If if Georgia Tech can figure out how to get into the Big Ten, because in many ways they fit the Big Ten's narrative, then maybe that would be a good fit for them. Maybe the fact that Atlanta is right there and the Big Ten could grab Georgia Tech and say, hey, we're in your backyard now. Maybe that would be a way out for the Jackets. But right now, I think they're in real dire straits um, because they don't matter. They don't matter in the one sport that matters, which is football. And I think if this were 15 years ago, Clemson would still get saved. But the last 10 years has really helped them. What's the last 10 years been like at Georgia Tech? They're bad at a really bad time. Like, this is not the time to be bad. If we were talking about, I mean, who is the bigger brand in college football, Mississippi State or Georgia Tech? I would argue it's Mississippi State, but that's me. Hey, listen, right now we've got DAWGSTRUCTION. I just got an order. I'll show you. I just got an order for someone who's taking advantage of this offer. DAWGSTRUCTION, you get this today, and you get our season preview along with it. We are up to date. We've mailed everything out to everybody who's ordered as of Thursday. So if you ordered as of Thursday, um, your book is on the way. Most of y'all will get it just after. Most of you we just put it in the mail. You will get it just after the 4th of July because today's Friday. Saturday will be mailed in, and Monday is off. But make sure you're taking advantage of this. This is an awesome publication, if I do say so myself. The photography is top notch. Oh man. And it's a great, you can order it right down below. But these are images and articles you will not find or see anywhere else. You just won't. The only place you can get it that's not online is where? Red Zone in Athens on Clayton. You go stop in and say hey to Mindy and Scott. They got a bunch of stuff in there to choose from. But I do think I think the plausible rescue float for the Jackets is the Big Ten. If I were on North Avenue, I would have been making this call a year ago. All this said, and those of you who watch all the time, certainly members on Dog Post, know how militant and studious I am about television ratings. I'm also pretty studious about the contracts for these for the television the contracts for the television deals. And the only problem with all this moving around is that it's going to take a very significant hit out of whoever leaves the ACC. They will leave the ACC. The ACC is dead. It's either dead now, 5 years from now, or 8 years from now, but it is dead. So it's going to be, the question is, how much is it going to cost for the Jackets, the Heels, Clemson, the Hurricanes, whoever, to leave? And that's the real question. Georgia Tech is not in a great position right now to dictate terms financially. They're in not great position. Florida State is in serious trouble too. But I'm telling you right now, all these teams and programs, they are not being using fiduciary responsibility by not leaving. They have to leave. It is they are hurting. They are not being responsible to their institution or its stakeholders by sticking around to play Boston College. The ACC is going to try to save itself by doing what the Big 12 did in 2010, I think it was, or 2009. They're going to say to Clemson, they're going to say to North Carolina, they're going to say to Miami, hey, we know this deal is not great that we've got right now. We can't break the deal with Disney, but what we'll do is we'll give you more money and we'll do it this way. But they're going to die on the vine. They're not going to matter. And North Carolina is to me, the two most interesting ones here are North Carolina and Miami, because Carolina has tremendous resources, and it has it is the flagship of one of the largest states in the country. Miami is dumping money into athletics like I have never seen before, and they are going to be successful. The question is, how long will this take? They are the two that are most interesting. I mean, Clemson, I can't see them going to the Big Ten. They're going to be in the SEC. I don't know when that will happen, but it will happen. That's what I see. And then like NC State, they don't have power the way that North Carolina does. So what's going to be interesting is who's going to leave. Are they going to take Notre Dame with them? And where are they going to wind up? As long as Notre Dame has a path to the playoff, they will be independent. As soon as that's cut off, they're out. They will join a conference. Everything we have been told in the past about this or that, Texas will always play Texas A&M. Georgia and Florida will play in Jacksonville, all the time. Whatever. None of that means anything anymore. This is about a positioning for the next 100 years of college football. If you want to be uh, Tulane, then you just keep doing what you're doing in the ACC, Georgia Tech, because that's what's going to happen. Someone's going to have to bite the bullet and really do it. Miami has the financial backing right now to make some things happen. North Carolina is in a very strong position. I think Clemson's brand right now nationally is obviously something that matters. And Notre Dame. Those are the four schools in the ACC that I would keep close look at. Virginia Tech doesn't matter. I don't want to hear about Virginia Tech. They were good when Michael Vick was there. Okay. Other than that, help me out. Florida State, obviously, they're in financial ruin, y'all. Now they have a great brand, they do, but they are in real. The brand will save Florida State, and I think too that the SEC is no longer a position of, somebody can block someone from coming in. Those days are gone. That's done. So if Florida doesn't want Florida State or Miami to come in, so I mean, I'm sure that people, if we were just talking about who's coming in, the conniption fit that South Carolina would have if Clemson came in would not be on the level of Texas A&M with Texas, because Texas A&M acts like a bunch of babies, but it would be approaching that. And the truth is, it just doesn't. We're at where we're at, y'all, and the grown-ups in the room need to say, "Hey, this is a competition. The Big Ten just got a lot better." And the question is, who wants to be in control of the next 100 years? Because it's going to be the Big Ten and the SEC. Now you've grabbed two of the most significant schools in college football history, certainly one of them in SC. The SEC. There's no one out there like SC that's left. Just Notre Dame. Clemson ain't SC. Okay, Florida State's not SC. So, and Miami's not SC. So picking any one of those schools up would be neat for the SEC, but they've already got their powers in Texas and OU. So the only thing that's left out there now is Notre Dame. Can Greg Sankey make it work with Notre Dame? That's another question. But Georgia Tech is as close to dead as possible. Hate on this video all you want, Tech fans. I don't care. It's the truth, and you know it.